Years ago, a bait came out that a lot of us made fun of, and we made fun of it up until not too long ago. And it's kind of like a moped, if you know what I'm saying. You don't really like to tell your friends about it, but man, I gotta show y'all this. All right, geeks, so before I tell you what this rig is, I got something for you. I think you're gonna like it. And as always, if you can't see it, like I always say, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, we're out here all the time, testing and doing videos for you. All right, geeks, so I know it's August and that box is coming, but here is the July Bass Geek box. Now, don't get too excited, it's not that much stuff, it's just a box we had laying around. But let me show you what we got for you. All right, geeks, so something during July that I love to do, and it kind of tapers off. It's really the end of that, and that is throwing a crankbait, whether it be up the creeks with a square bill or on the ledges with a deep diver or anywhere in between. I got you one of these. I'm a big fan of the Bill Lewis crankbaits. And this little crankbait reminds me a little bit of like the DT series from Rapala, but it's made out of plastic. It's a little more durable. Unlike a lot of balsa baits, it's kind of true right out of the package. So, you know, you're not going to buy 2 or 3 that aren't going to run quite the depth they say. This one's pretty well going to do its job. Now, in July and August, I love to throw a big worm. This is one of my favorite worms to throw. This is the Exxon Blitz. It is an 11-inch curl tail. And like I said, a lot of guys love to throw that straight tail. Kind of forget about that curl tail worm, that big curl tail worm in the summertime, and it's going to get you some big old bites. Gotta love to throw jigs, and I know a lot of you guys are still a little intimidated or not quite catching on a jig yet. And this is one of my very favorites. This is the Finesse, or the Heavy Finesse by War Eagle. Now, this is the 1/2 ounce size, and I think the color on this is one of my very favorite colors, and it's Pond Scum. Now, here's what's funny. I got you a Yum trailer to go on that, but it was originally, so you might want to put this pack up because this company technically does not exist anymore. So I'm going to send you a collector's item. This is the Yum Hammer Crawl to go on the back of that, but it's the Jean LaRue Hammer Crawl, which they don't make anymore. So, I mean, they do, but it's Yum. Anyway, Jean LaRue is not in business anymore. All that got moved over to Yum, if you didn't know that. So, I want to put this pack up. Next up, I got you a really interesting bait. I ain't gonna lie, pick me up some too. This is the Z-Pop from Arc. And good little color, black bone. Now, if you haven't seen this video, you need to go watch it. And I'll link this video at the end. But I got you one of these. This is designed by, I believe, Jerry, and I never can say his name, Rago. Please forgive me if I butchered his name. But he is a very good bait designer. This is by Thunderhawk. This is a bait that you guys have seen me talk about a lot. This is the Papa Walker. And I got this for you in black. Again, stay to the end. We're going to have something. We're going to give this box away, and we're going to let you see how to work this. And it does everything. Pops, walks, you know, rips. This is an incredible topwater bait. Now today, we're actually going to be talking about this little bait right here. No, we're not talking about a Damiki rig, or we're not talking about a soft jerk bait. Sort of, kind of, we are, but we ain't. There's a certain way that a lot of people have been rigging soft jerk baits and bigger minnow baits for a minute now, that it's like I said, we're going to kind of eat our words on, because it's actually really good And it's really good for those bass that are just below the surface chasing shad. And so what I got you was a 5-inch Damiki Armor Shad, and this is in Pro Purple. All right, so remember, stay till the end, and I will show you how to win the July basket box. Now, I've heard people call this the Shindo rig. I'm not real sure if that's correct. I call it the Banjo Minnow rig. I've seen a ton of people talk about it. I've seen Hooked Up Tackle talk about it. I've seen Milliken talk about it. But it's something that I just hadn't tried myself until this year. And I've been seeing, because we've had a pretty wet summer so far, a lot of cloud cover, a lot of rain. As you can tell, I'm soaking wet right now. And one of the things that you get, because I'm in these highlands reservoirs, is these bass pull out over these ledges, man, and they'll suspend up. And it is getting harder and harder. Like, they pretty much will not bite a minnow bait anymore. And they're getting to the point now, you know, we used to be able to trick them with the topwater, and they're to the point now, like, they will not hit a topwater. I mean, they pretty much have to be busted, and you have to drop it right on their head when it happens. So this little bait was a second. You geeks know I love to rig a belly weighted fluke and kind of throw it out there and work, because it's got a little bit of weight to it. But this little rig has a ton of action, and this is why I like it. So there's really a few things that you're going to need, and I've already got the hook tied on. This is just a little circle hook is all we're going to use. I don't remember the size of this. This is a Trocar though, and links to everything will be in the description. And geeks, I really appreciate you. You guys really have helped us out a ton. If you don't care, go, if you're on a PC or you're on a, you know, some sort of laptop or whatever, go click that link in the description and bookmark that. Anytime you go to Tackle Warehouse, pretty please go click on that. And if you're on a phone or a tablet, just scan this code right here and bookmark it on your mobile device. It really does help us out a ton if you're going to shop at Tackle Warehouse anyway. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it does help us get out here, like I said, in the rain, sleet, snow, or shine. And we've been out in plenty of rain this year. It seems like it has rained on us every time we went. So we'd appreciate that. Thank you. So rigging it, like I said, I've already got it tied on. Basically, I tied it on with the Pitsine knot. You geeks know. You've seen that in 100 of my videos. And what I do is I take a little keeper. I think this one's by owner. This is a little big. I don't have any small ones with me right now, but I like a little bit bigger keeper anyway. And so what I'll do is I'll pin it in, and there is something you need to make sure. The first time I ever tried this rig, I threw it off the hook. So you want to make sure you bury this as much as you can. So most people in my area call this a hitchhiker, and you can tell this is a little big. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to make it a little fat so that we get in there, and I'm going to try and keep it as straight as humanly possible with this. But the good news about this is you're not going to tear it out, because it is such a big hitchhiker. And what I'm doing is I'm just screwing it up in there as far as I can get it. And one of the things I want, I want it even tighter than this. I want the hook to go through the plastic, because if there's a gap, it can and it will come loose. So we're going to try and get it about one more turn. And that is hard to do. Now, there we go. So we've got it in the nose, and you'll tear the nose up just a little bit. But that's not a big deal. So you'll see there. Now, to get the best action, you're going to want to make sure that hitchhiker, that the loop in it is straight horizontal. Now, what you're going to do next, you're going to take whatever nail weight that you have, whatever size. So what I do is I take a nail weight and I just push it in right here, just below the skin, try to keep it good and straight because I want a little bit of weight to the bait. Now, you can put in a bigger nail weight if you need to, but you see there. Now all you do is you take your hook, you come through the bottom of the bait, come through that ring, and there you have it. So what do we call it? I've heard it called the Shindo rig from Japan, but overall, this is the Banjo Minnow. I mean, really. How many of us are about to eat our words on this? Because I know I've ate my words on the old Banjo Minnow rig. And I've seen a lot of predominant guys talking about it. But I mean, you can see the action of this bait. Now, you don't fish it just like a soft jerk bait. This is designed to be fished very fast. And we'll talk about a couple of retrieves I like a little bit later. So, rod, reel, and line is very important, I think, in this technique because you're going to be moving it so fast that sometimes you're going to lose that feel. So you need a good sensitive combo with some good line because a lot of times they're going to hit it on the fly and you're going to just be jerking and set the hook right into them. So good line, good rod, good reel, important with this. So the rod that we're going to be using, this is actually a medium heavy 7-foot core from Cashin. And that is a great name for this series of rods. It is the core series, the series you need that has really everything you could possibly want in a series or lineup of rods. A little more expensive than the Element rod, but again, this is your core rod. This is the series that you're going to pick up and it's going to be your go-to in any situation. Now, of course, what I like about Cashin, they are American made. Almost 100%, I think, other than the guides. Now, a lot of people actually ask about this right here, but what I like about this is when it's wet, I think this gives you more grip, and it definitely gives you more feel anytime because it is a little bit harder, but it gives you more grip in the rain because I have been known to cast hard enough where I almost cast the rod out of my hand. It happens. The reel that we're teaming up with that is a Lew's Custom Pro, which I think is one of the best reels that they've came out with in years, and I still think it's one of the best reels that they've had as far as the spinning lineup to this day. We've got K9 Pro 100 fluorocarbon on here, and we've got High Vis Yellow 10-pound test. I'm telling you, the best casting braid and 10% discount right here for you geeks. The great thing about this rig is you can fish it over submergent grass, you can fish it over submergent brush piles, you can fish it in open water for busting bass. It is good in a lot of situations, and like I said, it really has a unique action, which we'll show you a little bit later. A couple of ways to fish this bait, and it's real simple. I like to make a cast out there, keep my rod tip down and twitch it. Now, not necessarily jerk it. If I'm fishing it over something, some brush pile, stuff like that, I'll fish it just like you would a soft plastic jerk bait. But if I'm fishing it around suspended bass, I'm really gonna work this thing fast. Like, I'm gonna throw it out there, I'm gonna keep my rod tip down, and I'm gonna twitch, 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 reel, 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 twitch, 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 reel, reel, reel. To me, it's just something that when they're suspended up in that 5 and 10 foot or less, they just go bonkers over this. When you can twitch, 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 kill it. Twitch, 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 kill it. And you play that little bit of keep away game with them, they love it. Now, when they hit, most of the time, you're gonna know it. But one of the things that I always recommend, just like fishing a swim bait, twitch, 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 until they load the rod. Because sometimes they will come up and knock it sideways, so don't jerk. Twitch, 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 all the way through until the rod loads. Side set, and then play those fish out. You got a lot of plastic, a little bit of weight, and a little bitty hook. So play those fish out, keep that rod tip down, and get them to the boat. Net, thumb, whichever is best for you. You got a big and probably shouldn't boat hop on a spinning reel. You know, I kind of proved that a little bit earlier this year. Lost probably a 4 to 5 pound smallmouth being stupid like that. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do as I say, not as this big dummy does, okay? And that's really it. It's got such good action to it. It's really an incredible rig. And the Banjo Minnow rig, we got to eat our words. All right, geeks. I hope you all like the content and everything that we're doing here lately. We're really showing you some pretty unique baits. And, you know, like I said, man, I mean, this is this is not a sponsored bait at all. So, you know, we just love to talk about baits here. It's what we do. But anyway, I guess you all don't really give a damn about that. You want to know how to win the Bass Geek box, right? So, how are we going to win the Bass Geek box? We're going to do Banjo Rig. Hashtag Banjo Rig down in the description below. You geeks will be entered to win the July. I know, I'm just going to be honest with you. August probably going to be a little bit behind because I'm going to take a little bit of a vacation. We're going down to Hilton Head. Going to have a good time, drink a lot of beer, piss in the ocean, if you know what I mean. So if you want to learn more about that incredible topwater that one of you geeks are going to win, the Papa Walker, make sure you go check out this video right here. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comment section below. Hashtag Banjo Rig so you can win this box. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get the notifications when these videos come out. And you geeks rock.